Welcome, Dancing with the Stars fans. I'm Gold Derby Senior Editor Daniel Montgomery here with our contributors Cordell Martin and Jeffrey Kare. And we are going to talk about the most memorable year nights on Dancing with the Stars. And then we're going to preview Monster Night, which will happen on Halloween night on October 31st. This coming Tuesday. We are recording this on Friday. You are watching or listening to this whenever you're watching and listening to this. So, let's start by talking about the big elimination, which we weren't sure was going to happen. We kind of speculated that maybe on an emotional night like Most Memorable Year, there wouldn't be an elimination. It was Mira Sorvino, who sadly went before I think she deserved to go home. I think she should have stayed longer. What did you think about that, Cordell?
Yeah, to your point, I was anticipating that the producers are going to pull a fast one and not eliminate anyone just based on the nature of the night. Also, to your point, was kind of bummed that Mira went home earlier than I think we would love for her to go, but not surprised. She was just one of those contestants, and it happens every season, who's really good, but just couldn't find her footing in terms of just being at the top of the leaderboard or really just having that strong fan base to kind of carry her through week after week.
What did you think, Jeffrey?
Oh yeah, I too was surprised. For one, I thought her dance she did with Gleb as well as her daughter, I thought was adorable. And as well as the fact that, I guess her giving the first performance of the night probably wasn't such a good idea. It looked like she was really starting to come into her own in the competition, but yeah, it's probably still a little too difficult for her to stand out from the crowd. But on the bright side, she did appear on Celebrity Jeopardy the following evening, where she actually advanced to the semifinals. So
yeah, it was the best of times and the worst of times for Mira Sorvino this week on ABC reality TV. Although game show, not technically reality TV, but still sort of in the same ballpark. So I was glad to see her on Jeopardy do that well there, especially after she seemed so sad to leave Dancing with the Stars. I think you're right, Jeffrey, that her going first probably didn't help her. A lot of time to forget her performance, especially when she was doing a contemporary dance, and there were 4 more after her contemporary dances, including a really emotional one, on like the Monkey Bars by Charity. You had Mauricio doing one at the end of the night, and it was just so easy for her to get lost in the shuffle there. Now, one contemporary that she outperformed, but did not survive through to the next round over was Harry Jowsey. He performed a contemporary dance, landed at the bottom of the leaderboard, very rare for a contemporary dance. But I think the judges were right. He was kind of wooden and a little bit like he doesn't have like the sense of the music or the emotion or any of that. What did you think about him, Cordell?
Yeah, I thought maybe this was going to be one of those dances that was going to kind of be like his breakout dance, so to speak, just based on his skill set. But clearly he was still struggling. I'm not sure as to what dance style is going to suit him in terms of really getting those big scores. Definitely seems like he has a fan base. I mean, considering how often he's been in the bottom and his escape elimination. So definitely someone just to look out for in terms of just that fan support, who's probably going to stay longer than we hope and anticipate.
What do you think, Jeffrey?
well, yeah, Harry Jowsey is probably I guess the one we have every year is probably that one celebrity who's struggled so much they should have just left early on, but no, because their fan base, they're staying longer than necessary. And yeah, it seems that way with Harry. And I pray to God he does not get to the finals, but even though it's probably bound to happen. But yeah, he's just continuing to, he and Riley continuing to give half a good performance, with Riley being the good half, with him, not so much.
Yeah, it's a lot of routines where, and I'm a little surprised by the contemporary. I thought she'd really play into his strengths, which is
Yeah.
literally his strength. Like she's very small, he's
Mhm.
very tall and muscular. I figured it'd just be lift-a-palooza, but it wasn't quite as much as I think she could have done with that. Um, but yeah, they survived anyway, and I think he's going to last a little while longer. I don't know. Like I can see Allison Hannigan going before him. I can see, sadly, I love Allison Hannigan. I can see Barry Williams going before. I can see Mauricio Umansky going before. I could see a surprise like Lele Pons
Yeah.
going before. Um, so, like, you add all that up, we have a potential Final Five candidate in Harry. Like we'll see what happens there. Now we had a lot of contemporaries, including one that got one of the first two tens of the season from Charity. What did you think of that routine, Cordell?
Yeah, I thought it was her best dance to date. She did a really good job in terms of just capturing the emotion of the dance. I thought the opening with the monkey bars was really creative, and definitely helped her kind of set herself apart from the other contestants. Yeah, I think now she's kind of the up and up and is showing people that she is a contender, and that people shouldn't sleep on her, especially with Bachelor Nation. But she definitely showed me she has the potential to win.
What did you think, Jeffrey?
Well, I agree with everything Cordell just said. Yeah, I thought, well, okay, everything from the production values with the monkey bars, I thought that was very, very brilliantly staged. But the dance itself, brilliantly performed. So, yeah, I mean, I will say right away, I may not have her predicted to win anymore, at least as of now. But yeah, I think she could still very much win this. I mean, she's still could be a threat with her skills and her fan base.
Mhm.
Yeah. Speaking of who is the front runner to win, I'm guessing we all now have the same front runner. I'm currently predicting Sochi Gomez. She got the other 10, and she didn't beat a contemporary to do so. She did it on a Viennese waltz, which is a sort of understated dance to get a 10 on, which is a good sign for her. Going forward into like a lot more like dramatic showcase kind of dances. What did you think of her routine, Cordell?
Yeah, I thought it was another amazing routine. I just love how versatile she is as a dancer and how she's just able just to capture the essence of each dance style week after week. She's someone that I always look forward to and just trying to figure out like what are they going to do next. Her chemistry with Val is top notch and one of the better pairings this season. Yeah, it's definitely her show to win. I mean, everyone else is gonna have to, keep up with her, but she just keeps going on the up and up. Um, yeah, so I think she's gonna be fine. I mean, we'll probably see 1 or 2 weeks where the judges kind of knock her down a little peg or two, but she's riding that wave right now.
What did you think of her, Jeffrey?
Well, I agree. She was amazing, and yeah, and yes, she is the one who I have winning right now. I mean, we'll see. Of course, we'll see if that changes within the next few weeks. But yeah, I think she's been doing absolutely incredible work, and of course, since she's kind of in-house talent, given that she's part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which is owned by Disney, but still, she's really proving to be amazing. Of course, since she's the first MCU star in the ballroom, it should be an interesting test to see if that fan base is strong enough for this competition. But well, so far she's got the skills to justify it.
We actually had one in Dancing with the Stars juniors that one season. Yeah, Ariana Greenblatt, who
Oh.
this summer was in the Barbie movie. She was in Guardians of the Galaxy, one of the
Ah.
Guardians of the Galaxies, I think, or Avengers. I
It was
forget. They all blend together for me.
Yeah.
Well, at least on the more
So
grown-up version.
yeah, I think she made the finals of junior.
Yep,
I really wish they'd do junior again. That was a
it
that was a
was.
good idea, and it was handled well.
It was.
Mm.
So we could potentially have the grown up version of that, and we've got Riley Arnold who went from juniors seniors as well. It's all coming together just perfectly. Now, the evening also included a very emotional segment, Len Goodman tribute, the judge who retired from the show a year ago and then passed away this past April. It was choreographed. It was a routine that brought back a bunch of former pros, and it was choreographed by Val Chmerkovskiy and Jenna Johnson. It was a simple waltz to Moon River. It was classy. It was elegant. It was, I think, the epitome of what Len generally liked on the show. Like no fussing about, just straight to the dance in pure content. What did you think about that routine and the emotions that it brought out? Like everyone was crying at the end of it.
I know. I think I started to tear up myself. It was a beautiful tribute to Lynn, to your point. I thought that Val and Jenna deserves an Emmy nomination and or win, in my opinion, for it. It was great just to see all of the former pros just come back and pay homage to someone that they've, had worked with and, trained and all of those great things throughout the year in their careers. And it was also just very touching and sad to see like Bruno break down. Like that's what got me, just to see him so emotional. But yeah, overall I thought it was just beautiful. I thought it was a great fitting tribute to Len, and everyone that participated in it should be very proud of themselves.
What did you think, Jeffrey?
Oh, I co-sign everything Cordell just said. Yeah, it was a very touching tribute, and I really loved the instrumental version of one of the great movie songs of all time, Moon River. And yeah, even though well, not every single pro were participated, like most notably Cheryl Burke or Shauna Burgess, as Brian Austin Green questioned that, but yeah, it was very well done in my opinion.
And we have got some more dances coming up this coming week. Nothing to that degree of emotionality. I think we're going from a very emotional night where the celebrities did kind of tapped into their emotions more. And we're going to have a fun night. I think so it's well placed to give the dancers a bit of an emotional break. It's going to be Monster Night, themed after Halloween, of course. And we've got the dances. So let's talk about them one by one. Now I'm going to start from the middle of this list because I just want to talk about this one because I'm very excited. Jason Mraz, Daniela Karagach, contemporary to Zombie by the Cranberries.
Ooh.
Now Daniela doing a contemporary on a Halloween night. Does that sound familiar to you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was Iman Shumpert doing the Us dance that she earned an Emmy nomination for that year. So a lot of pressure on her thus to kind of really deliver, but she's got a celebrity who actually is a better dancer than Iman was. So what do you think about that, Cordell?
I think this is definitely going to put Jason back into the conversation as the potential champ this season. I'm gonna even go out there and predict it's gonna be one of the perfect scores. So it'll probably be the first one of the season. That's my prediction that he's gonna have the top score, one of the top scores next week.
I think so too. What do you think, Jeffrey?
Well, as this past week, as Jason Mraz was pretty much on the road again, pun intended. But yeah, I do agree with Cordell that, yeah, if he nails this routine next week, yeah, it could really put him back in the conversation as a potential threat to win.
So after that, you've got Allison Hannigan and pro Sasha Farber. They will perform a Paso Doble to Supermassive Black Hole by Muse, and it's going to be vampire themed. I am really worried about a Paso Doble for Allison Hannigan, but the vampire theme, like she has played the Vixen vampire in the alternate universe on Buffy, so I'm hoping she can tap into that and sort of bring those acting chops that she was so skilled at into this routine. What do you think, Cordell?
Yeah, to your point, I'm just kind of nervous in terms of just like the technique, if she's gonna be able to just handle that and the attack that comes with the paso. I think the costumes are gonna be on point. I think the look is gonna be on point. So she's gonna have that down pat, but hopefully she's able to bring it all together and deliver a killer performance because she needs it. If she has another subpar or below the line performance, I think it might be curtains for her on Monday.
Yeah, I think she's one of the two or three I'm most worried about. What do you think, Jeffrey?
Well, this looks like a routine that could go either way. It could be either very creative, visually at least, and maybe, not badly danced, or it could just, kind of fall apart like a pile of bricks. But yeah, if it's, even if it's middle of the road, yeah, I can definitely see Allison being in danger, but hey, let's hope she does the best she can.
Yeah, middle of the road is the thing that she wants the least. What she doesn't want is to go first and to be middle of the road. It's better if she stands there in a frozen stare, like forgetting all of her choreography, than to give an okay dance.
Yes.
Like she needs to either be spectacular or fail spectacularly. Like it's one or the other to keep her safe. Now, gonna be safe. I think we all agree. Sochi Gomez and Val Chmerkovskiy, they have a contemporary as well.
Mm,
To Game of Survival by Ruel, and it's going to be undead themed. Um, is this another perfect score, Cordell?
I think so. Yeah. I'm excited to see this. So I think it'll be another perfect score. That's all I can say. She's gonna bring it.
What do you think, Jeffrey?
Well, yeah, I think there's a lot of potential for this to be, the first perfect score of the season. And I'm always looking forward to see, well, at this point, I'm always pretty much looking forward to seeing what Xochi's going to bring to the ballroom throughout the rest of the competition. So, yeah, and again, I do think this also has potential to be very creative.
And that brings us to Ariana Madix, who and Pasha Pashkov. They will perform an Argentine tango to "Bad Guy" by Billie Eilish, and the theme is going to be Harpy and Harpy Slayer. I don't know that I understand what that is.
Neither do I.
So, I mean, I'm not too worried about like the theme. Just sounds vague, but the Argentine tango is always a great opportunity, especially for a female celebrity to show off like flexibility. It's sexy and provocative, but still with a lot of technique, and lifts are allowed, and it's just one of my favorite dance styles on the show. What do you think about her doing that, Cordell?
I agree. I could see a case where she could either tie for the top, or if the judges are being petty and kind of knock down the top contenders and probably let her have her moment as the top scorer for the week. I could see her possibly being the one with the perfect score and everyone else gets, a couple of nines and tens mixed in. But definitely I think she's gonna kill it, no pun intended. And I think she's definitely gonna be near the top of the leaderboard.
She will kill it or do whatever harpies do.
Exactly.
What do you think, Jeffrey?
Well, I think there's a lot of potential for her to do very well, and well, yeah, I too. Well, of course, I already alluded to that. Yeah, I don't know what to make of the theme of the dance, but hey, it should at least be interesting.
Next up, we've got Lele Pons and Brandon Armstrong. They will also perform, like Allison Hannigan, they will have a Paso Doble to Bloody Mary, the Wednesday Dance TikTok version by Lady Gaga. That's a sped up version of the song. I've been on TikTok. It was inescapable for a couple of weeks. TikTok trends go fast. I saw like 500 videos in that couple of weeks. But Paso Doble on Lele, she's got the energy for it. This is going to be another dance where she needs to, it's a test where, like, has she learned to rein it in and bring that control that she needs? What do you think of her doing this one?
Yeah, I think this is a great song choice for her, especially with her being a social media personality influencer. I think it has potential just to kind of have that social media trending and buzz around it if they kill it and do well with it. This could also be another great dance for her. You know, we're kind of seeing her kind of slowly move up the ranks. So if all goes well, she could also see herself possibly with her highest scores so far.
What do you think, Jeffrey?
Well, I agree. There's a lot of potential here, and I think it's definitely smart to go with, the trendy Wednesday dance from the trendy Netflix show. And again, I think there's also a lot of potential for, production value and all. And so yeah, I'm intrigued to see it, especially after lately, I thought did such incredible work this past week.
Yeah, and I should say the dance will be themed Dead Goth Girl and Spider. Um,
Huh?
Now, wouldn't it be funny if Brandon Armstrong were playing the Dead Goth Girl?
Mhm.
Next, next we've got Bachelorette Charity Lawson and Artem Chigbintsev doing a jive to Skeleton Sam by LVCRFT. I don't know if I'm supposed to pronounce that differently. I'm showing my age if that's a thing kids know. They will be performing as skeletons. Now I could see this being the kind of dance where the judges like knock her for like, one of those kind of beauty pageant smile kind of performances. I could just hear it from Kare like just the words coming out of her mouth. You never know. I mean, she has really shown a connection to dances. I feel like so she might not get that criticism. What do you think, Cordell?
Yeah, to your point, I could see my girl Carrie Ann just, staying on script and knocking her down a few notches. Yeah, I think this might be potentially a middle of the road performance for her, just depending on her placement in the show and how the other couples do. So if a lot of the couples are already getting tens and high scores, I feel like she might kind of just, fall in the middle of the pack this week. But we shall see. I mean, she's surprised me the last couple of weeks in terms of really getting into the character of the dance. So, hey, she might have another, top-notch performance for next week too. So,
What do you think, Jeffrey?
Well, like I said with Izachi, I at this point in the competition, well, as I've mentioned before, obviously, but I'm always looking forward to seeing what Charity will have up her sleeves in the ballroom, and yeah, and doing a skeleton-esque dance should definitely be interesting, I think.
And going into sort of a weird realm, we've got Harry Jowsey and Riley Arnold will perform an Argentine tango to Blinding Lights by District 78, and they'll be aliens. So, um, yeah. I have no words other than that. Like I said, Argentine tango is a really great dance to show off a female dancer a lot of the time. And so I think Riley is probably going to count on that and, just again, climb him like a tree for most of the routine. What do you think, Cordell?
yeah, we're definitely going to see Riley do a lot of the work with this dance. Hopefully by the end of the night, the UFO just takes them up and away from the ballroom. One could hope. But yeah, I mean, either the judges may just, start just laying down the hammer on Harry just to prove a point they want him out, or they might be really nice and give him some a decent score. So we shall see what the
Yeah.
judges are feeling in terms of
They
Harry.
might be strategic. Like from what we've seen the last couple of weeks, they might be kind to him in the hopes that his fan base won't turn out.
Mhm.
Same
Yeah.
way that they kind of let down Adrian Peterson and Mira Sorvino
Uh-huh.
when they had their best dances ever. But what do you think, Jeffrey?
Well, I don't think I've got much to add other than, well, producers, if you're listening, please put Harry Jesse at the beginning of the show so that hopefully almost everyone will forget about him by the end. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing Riley doing this dance, but not so much Harry, who or probably, I mean, it probably should have been more zombie themes than aliens, if you ask me. Well, regarding Harry.
Oh, that is a missed opportunity that Sochi got undead when Harry probably they could have played it off with him. It's like, oh, it's supposed to be stiff. He's
Or
decaying.
Frankenstein or something. Yeah.
Yeah, although that's Frankenstein.
Then we got Barry Williams and Peter Murgatroyd. They will perform a Viennese waltz to "It's a Man's World" by James Brown. They will be Werewolf and Little Red Riding Hood.
Mm,
Um, I don't know. I think he'll do fine and hold. I think he got surprisingly high scores. I think on the Paso Doble that he did. I
yeah.
think I think a Viennese waltz will be easier for him. Um, so I don't expect him to have much trouble with this one. Although again, if he doesn't have much trouble with it and it's forgettable, he could be in trouble in terms of votes. What do you think, Cordell?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be another great dance for Barry. He's definitely surprised me week after week, especially with his paso last week. So I think he'll be fine in terms of getting respectable scores. In terms of his fan base, I think he'll be fine. Because Dance with Stars audience skews older and he's kind of within that demographic. So I think his fans will support him and he's kind of, that star that you love to root for and cheer on. So I think he's still going to have some goodwill to keep him for another few weeks at least.
What do you think, Jeffrey?
Well, I agree that, yeah, I can see him doing at least fine with this routine, and as well as his fan base, keeping him on a little longer, maybe not all the way, but at least next few weeks. And yeah, after he and Pete appear to have been back on track with their skills this past week, yeah, it should be interesting to see if he'll keep up with that.
And last but not least, or potentially least, you never know. Um, we've got Mauricio Umansky and Emma Slater. They will perform an Argentine tango to "Somebody's Watching Me" by Rockwell. And the theme is Gourd Matador. Now, first of all, this is weird because you've got two Paso Dobles, which is the Matador dance, and neither of them is doing Gourd Matador. So it's weird that they gave that theme to an Argentine tango. But either way, I think he'll do fine dance wise. I just think that's a weird creative choice on part of, I'm guessing, producers, whoever decided assignments for the dances. What do you think, Cordell?
I agree. Yeah, it's definitely off target in terms of the dance style. Mauricio has definitely surprised me these last couple weeks. Last week I thought was his best dance. Um, I think he'll be okay with the Argentine tango. It will be very interesting to see if he'll survive this week. I've always just been kind of curious with his fan base, and it's been very interesting that he survived, these last couple of weeks, but also we haven't gotten like the true bottom two yet. So he could have been in the bottom in those last couple of weeks, and then could be like a whole Mira Savino situation where it's like, oh my God, he's eliminated. So you just never know.
Yeah. What do you think, Jeffrey?
Well, yeah, well, to add to what Cordell said, yeah, this past week I thought it looked like Mauricio was finally starting to get the hang of it. And well, again, I guess similar to what I've added before, it should be interesting if he'll keep up with that or if he could really be getting better. I don't know if he will, but maybe there is potential for him. And yeah, this choice, well, I guess it should be interesting to see what he does with it, is all I'll say.
Mhm.
And then besides that, we've got the dance marathon, which I don't know if there's that much to say about. It's going to be a hustle to Staying Alive by the Bee Gees and the Charleston to Grim Grinning Ghosts dance party by Chris Bowers. Um, I last year they did the dance party or the dance marathon, and I thought it's like, oh, they just sort of picked names at random based on who they wanted to give bonus points to, and I'm not expecting much rigor in the choices. I could see like Harry Jousey getting the bonus points. Just like it's just gonna be feels like it's gonna be random. What do you think, Cordell?
Yeah, I could definitely see them picking like Lele or like a Mauricio, someone who's kind of like in the middle of the pack, just to, make them feel better about, their placement on the show. I'm gonna be pissed if Harry wins either marathon. Like, stop playing games, judges. If y'all are listening, like, do not try it. Um, but yeah, I mean, those marathons, you just never know. Some years they go by the actual like best dancer, and some years, to your point, like last year, they just randomly just pick someone out the hat. They're just like, okay, we're just gonna pick this person to win. So you just never know with the judges.
What do you think, Jeffrey?
I guess all these dance marathons can be so unpredictable as to who's gonna be on which team or who's gonna do better. Okay, maybe you do have an idea of who could do better, but who's gonna be on which team, and I guess the teams together, how they're gonna do together, as well as which team will do better. So really don't know, but hey, they at least got some nice song choices.
Yeah, that should be interesting at least, and we'll get to see these celebrities dance. Yeah, the better celebrities will get to see them dance again. The other celebrities will get to see dance again for whatever that's worth. I will say I was so excited about Jason Mraz and Daniela Karagach's dance, and I forgot to mention what their theme was. It's zombie mummy hybrid, which I don't understand quite what that means. Like maybe one will be a zombie and one will be a mummy, and that will be just zombie and mummy dancing together. I'm a little worried because it doesn't sound as cohesive as the Us, dance idea. But I don't know. Daniela is a great choreographer, and Jason Mraz is arguably the best dancer she's had on the show. So she's got plenty of opportunity to make that special. Well, with that, I want to thank you, Jeffrey, and you, Cordell, for joining me this week and every week to discuss Dancing with the Stars. And I want to thank everyone for watching and listening to us and following along with our coverage at goldderby.com every week. And with that, we will see you next week on Monster Night.
Boom.
We will see you then.